All right. A lot of them loving the Bingham.
What Bingham, are they?
Not quite, not quite. It is so tough and so close to call. It's going to be an enjoyable day here. Whoever wins, whatever final we get, and of course, a sellout crowd once again.
Don't be fooled. She's got no tickets. She's trying to queue jump. We know that. Do you remember going to a final or any big competition as a kid, as a fan, Ron?
Yeah, I went to watch Davis finish off John Parrott in the final, the world final. I think he was 13-2 up. I can't remember what was the score.
He won. I think he won 18-3.
He was so far ahead. I think I managed to see like 3 or 4 frames. I can't remember what the score was, but it was a few frames. I'm not sure it actually made the first interval. No, it was great.
I don't think it did. It finished very early. It was good. Not for John Parrott, though, of course. No. We can go back to Rachel now. She's doing her serious job. She's speaking to the players. First up, here's Stuart Bingham.
Stuart will be walking out here once again. Another Welsh Open final. There you are.
Yeah, one of my early matches, I was sort of looking over at the match table and I could see me peering round. It was like I was peering round the corner.
That like put a little bit of pressure on.
Yeah.
It's nice to come back to a tournament though when you've already won. You know, obviously you've tasted that sweet success and the delight here. But of course, it's not just about winning it 2 years ago. This is a tournament that's been really special to you.
Yeah. It was actually the same building we're in today that my first ever venue I qualified for back in '99. Got to the quarterfinals, so it's got some special memories.
When you come out here, obviously it's a little bit empty right now, but it will be packed full tomorrow. You're going to have your support, your family. Are they going to be down?
Yeah. My mum and dad, hopefully, my wife and the kids. It'll be a special memory.
And hopefully for you, it'll be another Welsh Open success. And talk about Neil Robertson. We talk about bouncing back from those defeats. And you know where I'm going, don't you? And I'm sorry. But 2 recent matches, Neil was very much on top, right? Yeah.
It's, the China Open, the end of last season, he beat me 6-0. And this year in the German Masters, he beat me 5-0. So it'll be nice just to get a frame against him today.
You don't mean that.
Well, obviously, the way I've been playing this week, I'm hitting the ball really well. So hopefully I can get to 9.
Hope I get a frame. You're hoping to win this, and I know how much you'd love to win another Welsh Open. Can we do it?
Yeah, you say my game's there. I've been knocking in the brakes pretty heavy this week, so fingers crossed.
What's been very special about you with our home nations? Obviously, we're at the final tournament in this series, the Welsh Open. You're the only player still to have won 2. So you could make it 3.
Yeah. Surely there must be some prize there to win the most.
Just
or whatever.
Like give that little hint to Barry. Maybe 500k. That'd be all right.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that's a little touch. But it's obviously the formats, the best of 7s that start off with. It may probably suits me a bit better than some others.
Well, we know you've been starting well, but you've been finishing your matches throughout the week as well. And all I can say is good luck in the final. And thanks for the chat.
Thanks, Rach. Cheers.
Cheers.
Neil, his route to the final has been quite interesting because he hasn't been tested too much. And by that, I mean he's played great players in Ali Carty, blew away 4-0. You know, we know all about Joe O'Connor in the semi-final, 6-2 win there. But he hasn't had any close matches.
No, he had the worst draw of all. They put the top 16 in the draw, just chuck everyone else in there. So you get a sort of lopsided draw. But he had Ali Carty, and Carter got to the final in Cheltenham last week. So he had the worst draw of any of the top 16 in round 1. And he won 4-0, and that was great relief to him because you go back a week in Cheltenham, he lost 4-0 to Kyron Wilson, and he played diabolical in that match. It was such a struggle.
But don't you think that's what's good about now the tour? You can have a bad tournament, and then next week you can bounce back really quickly. So very quickly that defeat is forgotten about, isn't it? Whereas if you've got like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, hanging around, It's brilliant at all these tournaments.
Yeah, especially someone like Bingham. He's playing in everything. He even plays in like pro-am.
Yeah, he's got a pro-am tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. He's thinking like, I hope this one don't go too late tonight.
So he's always trying to improve his game, Bingham, and so his form's always there.
Yeah. Does it make a difference that, of course, he knows what it's like to be a home nation winner? He's won the English, he won the Welsh a few years ago. Does that come into it?
Tournament to tournament. When you get to the final, it's best of 17. Robertson's obviously won more, so you'd have to say he's like, probably the stronger player to win it. I think because Bingham plays in a lot of pro-ams, which are best of 5s, best of 3s, kind of like best of 7s is just like he's used to it. He's used to getting out the gaps. He probably enjoys playing on the outside tables more than probably the top players. He probably enjoys the challenge of playing someone that plays a different game, because he just loves the game. When you love the game, you suppose all the other stuff doesn't really matter. So that's probably the reason why he's had a good, the best record out of anyone in these tournaments.
And Neil, both players love attacking the game. We've talked about the amount of tons. Do you expect it to be a very open and attacking game, not much safety?
Yeah, I do, but I think Robertson's quite meticulous. I'm not sure it's going to be all about potting. I think there's going to be some tactical spells as well,
Okay, boys, for the time being, thanks as always. When we come back, we'll hear from Neil Robertson, and of course, we'll get the final of this year's Welsh Open underway. We'll see you right after this. Welcome back to the Moat Point Arena in Cardiff, not long before the start of the first session of this year's Welsh Open. A quick reminder, the UCI Cycling, the Tour of Andalusia, stage 1 on Wednesday at 2 p.m. That'll be live on Eurosport 1. And also the Tour of the Algarve, it's stage 1 on Wednesday at 3:45. That'll also be live on Eurosport 1. Not long before both players will be in the arena. This is how they line up. Of course, before the break, we heard from Stuart Bingham. We can hear now from the world number 10. Neil is with Rachel.
I thought it'd be a good idea to bring us up here, sit and look at the stage for tomorrow, because it's very different, I guess, where you'll be over in that chair.
Yeah, it is. It's I guess you never really appreciate it as a player. Like just looking at it now, I can when you watch the players walking around the table, and it seems just like an incredible atmosphere to play in. And obviously, when you're down there as a player, it's awesome when you got the one table set up where you got the crowd all around you. That's what every player kind of dreams for. Every event you play, and you want to get down to that one table setup.
And when you set out on your season, obviously your third ranking final, you're bidding for a 15th ranking title. What is the main goal for the season?
I think every top player, when you start the season, you want to win, one sort of like big tournament, one ranking event, and then sort of like go from there. You're just trying to build on that and accumulate as many sort of trophies as possible. And it's very hard these days to win multiple events in the same season, but I've got a great chance tomorrow.
Let's talk about the final, because you play Stuart Bingham, who I'm sure will be looking back on those two last clashes with yourself, because he didn't win a frame off you.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine it being 9-0 tomorrow. It would be very nice. It would be, but I can't see it. Stuart's played really well all week and has deserved his place in the final. And I think definitely the two best players this week have got to the final, which is obviously fantastic for people watching tomorrow.
It's going to be great. Whoever's going to be lucky enough to sit in these seats, and we're looking at two world champions, two Welsh Open winners as well. And Stuart, throughout the week, and actually recently, he's been a player to start very quickly. And I guess for you, in your mind, that's going to be key. You're going to have to start as quick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be who can capitalise most on the mistakes we make. I think, best out of 17 is very hard to play flawless snooker throughout. So it's going to be who can apply the pressure at important times in the match that will probably come out on top.
His confirmation of their most recent meetings. Yeah, of course. We haven't made a mistake. That is 5-0 and 6-0. And Neil Foulds, I'm guessing that, of course, Stuart won't be thinking about a whitewash until, of course, he's got that first frame on the board. Will it be in the back of his mind or not? I mean, it's happened recently. Could happen again, couldn't it?
I don't know. It's surprising, isn't it? Because it's 7-4 Bingham on the head-to-heads, but the last twice he's been whacked, and especially a couple of weeks ago in Berlin. So maybe they're freakish results, but they're both playing differently now. The table's playing easy, and it's going to be whoever gets in first. So it's not going to be anything like one-sided, I don't think.
Jimmy, the table is playing beautiful. We've already had a 147 from Neil Robertson on that table as well. We've got two players that love attacking the game. We couldn't possibly see another one, a third, because, of course, Noppine and Sandkam's not one in as well this week. I mean, it's dreamland, isn't it?
Well, possible. You've got two players playing at their best, and they're both scoring really heavily. Neil Wilson also had another 140 after his match, and he had another 140 yesterday. And Bingham's had 10 centuries. So there's a chance of it, but... two in 1 week, I think maybe that might be it.
They both like going for maxis, though. Bingham loves a maxi, doesn't he? Neil likes a maxi, so you never know.
Yeah, well, you never know. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? What do you do as a player on finals day when you turn up at the practice table and you have a knock, Ron? Are you just going through the motions, getting your cue arm going? I know you don't actually like having a practice now, do you?
I would do now, because obviously you can go in there and get on the table, and it's, it's a bit of space and you can relax into it. But I think just on the final day, they're just getting their arm going, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I think it's more out of superstition, maybe, because I'm not sure how you can improve from Saturday night, 9 o'clock, to Sunday, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I think, it's just your game's there, and you're just going to go out there and trust it and perform. And sometimes, I prefer not playing, because you're just backing yourself and trusting yourself that when you need it, you can do it. But it's always nice to loosen up a little bit, It's a bit like going in the gym. You've got to warm up, innit? Otherwise you could pull a hamstring.
I should say, I hope your watch is not broken, because it's just gone 1 o'clock, not 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, boys, listen, thank you as always for the time in. It promises to be an incredible final. I can't wait. Let's hand over to our MC to get the players out, Phil Seymour.
Good afternoon, a very warm welcome to the ManBet X Welsh Open here at the Motorpoint Arena in Cardiff. This is the final. It's the best of 17 frames, and these fans are ready to meet the players. Introducing to you firstly your winner here 2 years ago. He's the reigning English Open champion, the 2015 champion of the world, Stuart Bingham. his opponent, a 14-time ranking event winner, Welsh Open champion in 2007, the 2010 world champion. He is the Thunder from Down Under, Neil Robertson.
Media use the hashtag #HomeNations. Right,
Thanks, Sean.
8 frames this afternoon, and then we're back tonight for a possible 9 in what has all the makings of a cracking match. Let's hand over to your commentators. Joe Johnson is alongside Philip Studd.
Two former world champions, two former Welsh Open champions, and one of them guaranteed to join a very illustrious group of players to have won this great tournament more than once. The likes of Hendry, Davis, Williams, O'Sullivan, Higgins, and the late Paul Hunter. They've both been scoring incredibly well all week. They're both at the top of their games. It should be a real scoring slugfest.
Okay. Stuart, do you want to call? Heads it is. Neil, it's your choice. You're going to break. Okay. Just wait for Paul. Just wait for Paul, yeah.
Rob Spencer is our referee. A special occasion for him as well. He's officiating his first ranking final. There's always a special buzz, Joe, about the place on finals day.
Yeah, and I think the two players that are in the final deserve to be, because they're playing the best snooker, make no mistake.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first
Stuart Bingham with 10 centuries in this tournament, so he's scoring like a machine. It's going to be very interesting, this, as Neil Robertson breaks off. Hasn't won a frame the last 2 times I've met, Stuart Bingham. But he does lead the head-to-head. Played 11 times, and Stuart Bingham's won 7 of them. So, as Philip said, I think it's going to be a feast of snooker break building.
It's a curious aspect of their previous meetings that there have been 5 whitewash wins in total, 3 of them to Stuart Bingham, but of course the most recent ones this season for Neil Robertson. So Bingham will feel as though he's got a point to prove today. And of course, given their propensity to make big breaks when they get the chance, safety is going to play a pivotal role in determining who lifts the trophy tonight.
Well, we don't want the safety to be too good, because all you can do in return is play a good safety. It was tight under the cushion there, and that's why the cue ball hasn't reached the baulk line. Just having a look to see if the red will pass the black into the right corner. And it does. Could do with a kiss. How about that? Holds his hands up for the good kiss.
Why apologise? You've potted a good long ball. You've earned the kiss. There was none of that in your day, Joe, was there?
What, kisses?
No, apologies. There were plenty of kisses.
5.
No, we always played those type of kisses, didn't we? So, but it's Bingham in with a chance, and like we were talking earlier, needs to make the most of the chances, because they are both playing well and they want to stamp their authority as quickly as possible.
6.
I think the secret to this match is going to be getting into that pack of reds as quick as possible. Who's going to do it? Who's going to set the pattern, open the reds up, win the frame?
13.
Well, you could bring more reds out here, Stuart Bingham.
14.
Let's brought another one out, because when the lower one of those two reds goes to the right corner, it releases the other one. What a packed house this is, and what an atmosphere. Nice angle. Play around the two cushions for the black. That's one thing he can't afford to do.
Stuart Bingham.
Wasn't a difficult shot. Pockets the plane quite big, really. So to miss that wasn't a good shot, and a very nervy one. So a chance now, Neil Robertson. Couldn't hold for the black.
One.
Well, he's just in no man's land. Tough to the corner, tough to the middle. And he's going to be trying to play for that red that goes to the right corner. And he's nicely on it. Now, important, he leaves an angle on the black to try and get those reds open.
Four.
Not the best angle, so still one more red he could play for. Has got the angle to go into them, but not with a great amount of power. So probably play for that loose red. That was a problem. But he's on a red to the middle.
11.
And there's a red above the black and to the right. That will go to the left corner. But it has got a beautiful angle on the yellow or the green to go into the reds. Just needs to catch the red just below the pink. Well, that's turned out okay. Oh, I'm saying okay. It's okay for a right-handed player.
15.
Could take the red to the yellow pocket. Maybe he's concerned he may leave a red onto the middle.
It's 12 years ago since Neil Robertson won this title in dramatic circumstances. 2 down with 3 to play against Andrew Higginson before winning 9-8.
16.
Great recovery. Took the risk because he may have been leaving a red to the middle. Stuart Bingham had the first chance. Missed that relatively easy red
23.
to the right corner.
Four. 31.
Yeah, he could have done with a little bit better angle there. He's going to have to screw to the cushion with side.
32.
There's the side on the cue ball. Now, may play a little cannon to that loose red. If he misses it, he'd be on the red to the right corner.
$39.
He just about got there. 19 points the difference.
$47. $48.
It's been a pretty intoxicating mix from Robertson this week as Bingham watches on and counts the cost of the misread. We saw what a great front runner he can be last night against Hossein Bafai, winning 6-0, scoring so heavily.
55.
But a couple of times he's had to dig himself out of a hole this week. Paul Davison, he was 3-1 down before coming back to win 4-3. And of course against Kurt Mafflin, he was outplayed for the first half of the match. That's the red that Bingham missed. And then finished superbly, including the match-winning 63 break in the final frame. So he's shown every aspect of his game this week. His safety's been very good. His scoring has been exceptional.
56.
Not least the brilliant maximum break in the first round against Jordan Brown. And he seems to have the old zest back again. He's talked about wanting to entertain with his snooker, wanting to be positive.
Well, he's certainly been that's for sure. Destroyed the same Bafai. But still needs another red and a colour. And once again, it's just the wrong side of the black. Don't think the loose red will go to the right middle. You can play a deep screw back and take the red to the left middle. Just overhit it slightly.
63.
Just needs the red and the colour.
$64.
And straight away, the psychology comes into play. And Robertson knows that this is going to hurt Stuart Bingham. He was in control. These could have been his.
He's checking out where he wants the cue ball, but this is the important one. Frame ball, barring snookers. And that's now 12 frames out of 12. Daniel Robertson against Stuart Bingham.
Neil Robertson.
Well, the difference is 50, 43 left, so 2 snookers needed. I'll be disappointed he missed that red, but it's a good break. It should be enough.
Always dangerous though when there's a red next to a colour. The red next to the pink makes it easy to play the snooker. Bingham can get the red and the black. Well, he may have took the red on had he not been hampered. But been hampered so badly. Well, I thought he was going to leave the red there, but held up. I thought that Neil Robertson would have moved the red away from the pink. Take away that easy snooker chance. Trying to put the black on the cushion. It's going to be close, this. Well, not only did he hit it, but he hit it the right side. But a chance here, maybe put the red. He's got to come back for the black, otherwise he's going to need 3 snookers.
Stuart Bingham needs 2 snookers then to get back into this opening frame. It's the misread that looks like being expensive. Robertson 71 break, putting him in this awkward position. Anywhere near thick enough, full enough. He was attempting the snooker in behind the black. And that should make sure of this opening frame.
One.
So Bingham paying the price for the easy miss after he got him first with the long red.
Neil Robertson won. And the first.
And Neil Robertson has been able to deal out the first psychological blow of the final, clearing up from an error from Stuart Bingham. Those frames always hurt a bit more. And it's first blood to the 2007 champion. He leads 1-0. occasion. Point Arena packed out, and there is the magnificent Ray Reardon Trophy in honour of the 6 times world champion. Of course, Stuart Bingham was the first recipient of that trophy when he won it in a thriller against Judd Trump in 2017.
Thank you. The second
by 9
frame.
frames to 8.
Stuart Bingham to break.
But he'll be counting the cost of the red he missed in the first frame, so he's not quite settled down yet. Robertson punishing him with a break of 71 to take that first of a possible 17, 8 in this session. First to 9 to be crowned champion tonight.
Yeah, Robertson missed a red to the left middle. That would have put paid to this frame 10 minutes ago, and it probably did Bingham a favour just to play on a few shots, 10 minutes or so, just getting used to the table, putting that missed red out of his mind. Because he got in with a good shot, good long red, got a good kiss on the brown.
Yes, and he wouldn't be human if he wasn't thinking about his previous 2 meetings with Robertson, both of which were whitewash losses. So desperate to break that losing streak of 12 frames now against his opponent here. Even though overall he leads the head-to-head 7 wins to 4.
The red that's closest to the left corner, difficult to take on because the cue ball would be going into the reds. He can't impart enough side and bottom onto the cue ball to miss the red, so he may play safe off that red, but there's a danger of hitting the red.
There is, of course, a cheque for £70,000 as well as the Ray Reardon Trophy for the winner this evening, and that would be significant for Stuart Bingham because it would get him inside the world's top 8 on the one-year list and therefore qualify him for the brand new Tour Championship, which is coming up in Llandudno next month. Robertson's already looking safe in that regard.
Yeah, good safety from Bingham. Just having a look to see if he can hit that red full ball in case he has to replace it. Attempting the 2 reds by the black spot. Oh, must have hit. He was stood right above the red.
Touching ball. It is? Yeah. Yeah.
Looks touchy to us as well.
Carl and a miss. Neil Robertson 4. Yeah. Stuart, I didn't get him ready. You got going very quickly, so I'll give you a lift for this. Yeah. Neil? Yeah.
With 15 centuries between them this week, including Robertson's maximum. Safety duels are all important.
Not in a good spot, Stuart Bingham. He'd like to get the cue ball over the left side of the table, but the black could come into play if he plays that shot. Caught him much too thick. Much too thick. Took the red down the table. So, an early chance in this frame. Neil Robertson.
Robertson certainly has started the more composed of the two, and of course it took Stuart Bingham quite a while to get going yesterday against Joe O'Connor. A lot of errors in the early frames before he found that heavy scoring with 4 centuries. Robertson, on the other hand, was right on the money right from the off against Fafai.
Yeah, sure. Eight.
Yeah, he's got to settle a bit quicker. I mean, this was much too thick.
Nine.
Played for choice of 2 reds. Had he come too far for this one to the right
60.
corner, he was on the one to the middle.
70. $24. $25.
Well, you could decide to go into them here. He's got one more loose red, possibly 2 with the one to the left of the pink. This is such a good angle. And that's worked out very nicely.
30.
Black may be tight going into that right corner. So he may play for the pink to the right middle.
Robertson was flying around the table last night, playing a good deal faster than he normally would at around about 18 seconds per shot against Fafai. Today, it's just that little bit more measured, very aware of the importance of these early frames. He can build a lead, apply the pressure. And Stuart Bingham in this first session will have a significant advantage. Bingham hasn't settled yet. Potting error in the first frame, safety error at the start of this one. Well, played that with a lot of side on the cue ball. It's the wrong side of the blue, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem with that red closest to the left corner. Not sure if the black will go to this right corner pocket. Well, we'll soon find out now. Well, there you go. It's very tight. Didn't play the blue particularly well. Could have done with an angle on this red to the left corner to get back to the blue. So, a chance. Stuart Bingham.
Neil Robertson, 43.
And you would say he's going to have to score well here.
Well.
It's the wrong side of the black to get close to this red, to the right corner pocket. So maybe take one of the others, go up for the blue, come back down for that easy red. But he's decided to play for this one first. Could have tried to get my arm going before playing this shot.
Robertson's turn to stew about the misread.
It's going to be a tough clearance this though, with the red up by the green. He's going to need that.
60. 22. $23.
Played to hit the Reds. I'm very fortunate not to have gone in off. There was just a little bit too much tension there, tightness in the back end, because to miss those Reds had to be something wrong. So just the safety.
Stuart Bingham, 30.
$17 in it, 59 left. Make that 67.
Worth a shot to nothing. Now, has he forced Neil Robertson into taking this long red on? If you can take it on with a lot of topspin, try and get back down the table towards the green. Some safety attached. If not, it could be an all or nothing. It was. So, ooh. I thought he was going to drop up before. I was saying Stuart Bingham could get another chance, but I think he's covered the easy red over the corner. So, again, this is a must-get shot for Stuart Bingham.
It was uncharacteristically wide of the mark with that red.
That will make him feel better, because that was a real pressure shot. That he was leaving the red on over the pocket had he missed it. So this is a lot better chance, because there's nothing safe now.
Quite a big frame, I think, just the second of a possible 17, but given that Bingham has had a miserable recent record against Robertson and hasn't started all that confidently this afternoon, imperative that he gets on the scoreboard early.
His cue action doesn't seem to be as positive as what it normally is.
Four.
But a great chance to get it going here. Now, just hope he's not thinking about that early red that he missed, something similar to this.
11.
This black will take him into the lead. Well, I don't know what's going on with Stuart Bingham at the moment, but he doesn't look confident out there at all.
Well, it was similar, wasn't it, in the early running against Joe O'Connor yesterday? O'Connor struggled as well, and they kind of dragged each other down before Bingham belatedly found some tremendous scoring form. But he looked edgy yesterday, and he's looked nervy again at the start of the final today. And Robertson will certainly be aware of that. He'll want to punish. This would be another damaging frame to lose. Bingham had such a great chance there to level up at one each. Not the best, though, positionally.
8.
No, could have been better. Just checking the scoreboard. 13 points, the lead. Takes the blue, he just needs the green.
9.
The wrong side of the blue.
Forty. 60.
Well, another game handed to Neil Robertson. And Stuart Bingham. Simple black off the spot.
90.
And that's the kind of frame ball you want, right over the hole. And Bingham already with things to ponder. He's looked nervy in the extreme, and that is the kind of black he'd miss maybe twice in a season.
Yeah, I don't think you'd even expect to miss that once in a season. Really wouldn't.
No.
It was that good on the black. Didn't have to do anything, just done up for the two reds. And this time Neil Robertson making sure.
90. 23.
As things stand, it's 2 snookers to tie on the blue, so Robertson poised to double his lead here.
I think he'll carry on, Stuart Bingham. He should carry on if he gets the chance.
Neil Robertson, 23. And the frame.
And Stuart, no.
No, sorry. Not on the frame.
Rob Spencer a little bit too quick out of the blocks there. Bingham wants to play on, and no wonder with the blue right next to the pink. Tall order, though, to get 2 snookers from here. Extension on part of his cue, just to give him a bit more leverage here with the rest. He can play a really good snooker here and give himself a chance.
I think the jaws of the pocket's in the way, playing a good snooker.
Thanks, Stuart. Thank you.
It's all very tentative at the moment from Bingham. Playing in his 10th ranking final, he's won 5 of the previous 9. Robertson appearing in his 23rd and going for his 15th ranking title. This time Stuart Bingham does concede. Well, he missed an easy red in the first frame, Stuart Bingham. He's missed and arguably even easier black in the second. He looks nervous in the extreme in the early exchanges, and Neil Robertson has taken advantage. He leads 2-0. Is underway, and it's Neil Robertson who has certainly settled the quicker of the two finalists. Stuart Bingham has missed a couple of easy balls, both of which have proved to be very expensive, so he trails 2-0 and he looks pretty fed up about it. Now, of course, next week we have another ranking event to bring you for the first time here on Eurosport. We'll be live from the Watford Coliseum for 4 days of thrills and spills. The snooker shootout gets underway on the 21st of February on Eurosport 1. You'll see every ball live. Great atmosphere inside the Motorpoint Arena, every seat taken. Neil Robertson appearing in his third Welsh Open final, won the title in 07, then was runner-up to O'Sullivan back in 2016 when he led 5-2 in that final and then lost 7 on the bounce. So he's 2 clear of Stuart Bingham, and he's now won the last 13 frames between them, and psychologically, Joe, that's got to have some sort of impact.
Well, I think that's what Stuart Bingham's thinking about, to be honest. I think it's difficult to put it out of your mind that you haven't won a frame against this man in the last 3 tournaments. 2-0 in this one, but he's obviously thinking about something, and his concentration is certainly not there. Missing that red in the opening frame and then the black off its spot when he knew how important it was. He was within 4 balls, maybe, of leveling the match. Now he's got to win 3 to get in front. Doesn't want to skim off them. That's okay.
He was worried for a moment there, shaking his head as the cue ball headed towards the cluster, concerned he might have left one on, but he's okay.
Well, he could get the long rest out and play off the pack that way round. Less danger. Yep, extended rest.
Neil Robertson celebrated his 37th birthday this week. It definitely feels as though his snooker has gone up a few notches in the last few months. Of course, he started the season with the obligatory ranking title success. He's achieved that at least once every year since 2006, winning in Riga. But it's the really big titles that he's got his eye on again. Of course, he's won 4. Triple Crown events, 2 UKs, a Masters, and the big one. Back in 2010. Hungry for more, I'm sure. Particularly the World Championship, where he's underachieved by and large since he won the title 9 years ago.
Well, he's lost the safety battle once again. Bingham in with a chance. Although there's only one red out at the moment. Possibly two with that red above the black.
It feels as though Bingham hasn't really relaxed yet, and that's going to be the key for him, just to settle into his game, because we know it's there. I mean, he's been scoring for fun all week, 10 centuries.
Yeah, it's just something about this man. I think he may be all right if he can get a frame under his belt. Has he come far enough for the red? The applause says he has. Doesn't leave an angle this time, though. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, he started his tournament with that really good win over Ali Carter, who, of course, had just made the World Grand Prix final. And to beat Carter 4-0, he said afterwards, was a huge confidence boost after he'd lost by whitewash to Kyron Wilson in Cheltenham last week. And that was the springboard, but again, things have gone awry there for Stuart.
Yeah, he caught the red. Look at this again. He just caught the red. He wanted to slip past that red, hit the other one, leave himself on the red to the right corner. And unless he pots this red to the middle, it's end a break.
Stuart Bingham, 11. Funny how the crowd knows when it's a good safety. And it is a good safety. Cutting off the left side of the Reds. He's pushed one out. Can Bingham see it? He can. His long potting has been okay so far. He's potted 2 out of 3. Needs a bit of luck. And he's left a possible chance on here. Red to the right of the pink. One.
May be able to bring more reds into play here. Well, he's trying to play a delicate cannon here to the reds to bring the pink into play, but I'm not sure if he can hit the reds thick enough.
No.
There you go. Just couldn't get the shot he was playing. It might have been as well playing off the reds, going down for the blue. Still opening the reds up, but guaranteed to be on the blue or one of the baulk colours. So big shot this on the green. Now, what's the damage? Well, when you're 2-0 down and your confidence is low, these are tough shots. Yeah, played. I don't blame him. He played the red that was going to leave some kind of safety had he missed it. And he's opened the reds up. So now Bingham in with another chance. It's a pretty good table. Wouldn't need that red he's leaning over. It needs to slow down, otherwise he's not going to be on anything. Well, maybe he's on the lower red. Just.
Five.
Well, I think the kiss could have been better. Had he caught the red half ball, he'd have been on choice of reds. Reds to the middle, red to the corner. This red down the cushion with the rest is not easy at all, and it's going to be right over the pocket if he misses it. Yeah, played to the wide part of the pocket. That was a good recovery, though. Again, he's straight. And again, he wanted to hit the other side of the red.
20.
Well, so far, Robertson's been feeding off the mistakes of Stuart Bingham. That's an excellent recovery shot. Well played.
Not the kind of shot you want when you're struggling, 2-0 behind and feeling the pressure of the final. Stroked that in nicely, didn't he? Just needs something now to flick the switch and rediscover the form he's shown all week.
Yeah, it could still be 2 each, couldn't it? If you can win this one.
Going for his second Home Nations title of the season, of course, having won the first back in October in Crawley, English Open, beating Mark Davis, his good friend, 9-7. So this would be his third Home Nations title in all. He could win today.
$26.
The two reds by the pink spot. one of them will go to this right corner. And again, we've been here before. Caught the near angle in the first frame with this red.
33.
Very similar.
34.
Had he done that in the first frame, he may have been leading 2-0. May have to play the cannon to these two reds. We can catch the one on the pink spot. Well, he did well. Played onto the red to the right corner. 43 points the difference. Red, black, red. He's missed it. How many more? How many more easy reds is he going to miss or game balls?
Well, that's the third frame running now that Bingham has been in and has missed a simple one. He's lost the previous 2 frames as a result. He can't believe it.
No, and neither can we.
Yeah.
It's not straightforward, though, this clearance. There were for Neil Robertson early in the earlier frames, but this one's not straightforward.
Eight.
But Robertson knows how much damage this would do if he could clear here as well.
9.
Rueful grin from Bingham, but he'll be feeling sick inside at the moment, just hoping that Robertson can't develop the awkward red or makes a mistake of his own. It's out of his hands now.
He's overhit that by a distance. Well, just
60.
feeling the pressure himself there, I think. He's so far out of position there.
It doesn't matter how experienced or how good you are. Nerves are always going to be there in a major final. And indeed, they have to be in order for you to play well, but it's a case of managing them. Well, Bingham will be mighty relieved that that was
60.
not a more significant break from Robertson, but he's played a decent safety. 27 the difference, 51 there.
Well, he's really put Bingham under pressure here. Nothing safe now. Got to be very careful. Not sure how much of this red he can see playing down this end of the table. Can he see all of the red?
A view from the rafters.
I'd like to see how much of this red he can see. From where he was, that wasn't bad, but he's left a chance. Well overcut, and he hasn't got away with it, so another chance for Bingham.
Yes, it's not as though Robertson has touched the heights yet. He's made a few mistakes as well. It's just that Bingham has not been able to make anything from them. This his opportunity.
1.
Well, that could have been better, but I think he can pot the blue to the middle. Just avoid the yellow, come down for that red above the pink. May need to play with a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball to avoid the yellow. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, this is what pressure can do, even to the very best. These two players here on merit. Undoubtedly the best two players of the week, but Bingham in particular is really feeling it out there.
Well, where the blue's finished, it's made it difficult to get onto that red near the left side cushion. This open red, though, I think will go past the green. Just needs to bring the cue ball back an inch or so, so it's got the angle on the pink to stun for that last red. Good pot.
1.
But the blue just making it a little awkward here. The yellow gives him a good angle to get to the red. Does he have the angle on the green? So, looks like Bingham will fight again in this frame.
4.
Still got a 24-point lead. Well, he's unsure what to play. He was going to play the snooker in behind the blue, but I think the safest option is to play the red in behind the black, and the white twice across the table in behind the brown. If he plays the snooker in behind the blue and misses it, he leaves the chance at the pot. Well, that's what he's done, and I think he's left a chance at the pot.
4.
Anxious looks there. Oh, you can't see it. Not to pot it.
Thanks, Stuart. Thank you.
Rob Spencer just checking in case Bingham were to foul here. He needs to replace that cue ball. Bingham 24 in front. Badly needs a frame just to settle those nerves. Doesn't care how he wins it, as long as he wins it.
This looks good. Just a touch sticking out, I think. Enough to push that red behind the black.
Foul. And a miss. Stuart Bingham 4. Yes.
Well, he got as close as he could there to the pink and the red.
Have you got this? It's very, very tight, you see.
Well, that foul means that Bingham now needs just the red, and Robertson would require a snooker. Could afford to miss one more time. The red's still on the table.
No, I couldn't see that much. No. I think because like
Robertson actually making life harder for himself.
just a little. It's very, very tiny.
Saying he couldn't see as much
No,
of the red as
really.
he can right now.
No, he couldn't see that much.
Look at that.
Easy enough to play safe off that red.
No,
That's where it was.
more this way.
Well, that looks pretty much spot on.
Yeah, that's how tight it is, though, Philip. I don't think he could see that much of it. Absolute fractions.
Yeah.
There aren't many sports where you'd see this kind of etiquette, would you? Robertson is making life more difficult for himself, and it could be the difference between winning and losing the frame.
Yeah, and this is where the player,
Stuart,
being honest,
yeah.
helps the referee. And I think that's about right. He could just clip the red, but not enough to play it safe. Same shot. Oh, wait for it.
You miss. Stuart Bingham 5. Yes.
Back it goes. The difference now is 33, so if Robertson misses again, he'll need a snooker.
No.
That's going to need to go to the left as we look there.
I think the referee thinks he could see more of it than he can. That's too much.
No.
So Robertson's got to hit the red this time. Otherwise, he'll need a snooker.
Where's it going? Where's it going? He needs it to go dead. Well, that's a stroke of luck. He holds his hands up because Bingham knows that he should have had a shot at this red.
Yes, and although he's got that healthy lead on the face of things, there's nothing really safe. The blue's off its spot, pink's off its spot, but they're very potable, so it's all about this red, really.
Well, he could play to knock the black on the cushion here and play the safety.
Thanks, Stuart.
33 the difference, 35 on. Already the longest frame of the final so far. Crucial one for Stuart Bingham in particular. Just desperate to get on the scoreboard by hook or by crook. After the misses he's suffered so far.
Is this a snooker?
Thanks.
That's okay. Can't afford to take the red on. He needs a pink or black. He's going to be sending the red towards that left corner. And that looks good. Not quite a snooker, but good safety. wants to get the red behind the black. Oh, he's hit it much too thick. Is he going to get away with it? I think he has. Just got to be careful here, Stuart Bingham. Doesn't want to send the cue ball into this right corner pocket. He holds his hands up because he didn't play it, but he'll take it.
Well, I said by hook or by crook. Bingham desperately needed this frame just to stop the rot against Neil Robertson, which stood at 13-0 in frames, consecutively won by the Australian. Courtesy of that fluke, it looks as though he has. Hey! Well, now he can relax a bit. He's part of the final at last. It's been a very shaky start from the former world champion. Missed another sitter earlier in this frame, just as he'd done in the first two. But this time, barring snookers, it's not going to be expensive. And Neil Robertson, after a moment of deliberation, decides that he's had enough of that scrappy third frame, but a very important one for Stuart Bingham. He's now in the final. Neil Robertson's lead trimmed to 2-1. Where Stuart Bingham has a frame on the board. He desperately needed it, and he needed a fluke to seal it. Neil Robertson leading by 2 frames to 1. Robertson with a break of 71 in the first frame, settled certainly the more quickly of the two, and perhaps feels as though maybe he missed a trick there with Bingham really suffering. Could have been 3-0. He had a chance, albeit that he had one red tied up, but he didn't get to that red. And in the end, it came down to a battle on the colours, a few snookers, and Bingham, having found himself in a snooker, fluked frame ball red to his great relief. So Bingham now part of this final. He should be able to settle down now. One more frame to come before the mid-session interval, but that was a really significant one in the context of this final for Stuart Bingham, Joe.
Yeah, but as you say, we'll now feel part of the final. We often say you don't feel part of it until you've got a frame on the board. Well, now he's got one. let's see what happens.
Stuart Bingham to break.
And that's what they're playing for this evening, as well as a cheque for £70,000 and the same number of ranking points.
Not the best break-off from Stuart Bingham. That's what he thought of it.
Yeah, that was after fluking the red and making the frame safe. Relief.
Oh, got it. A little fortunate there. Robertson covering that red over the middle. There is a long straight red he could take on, but yeah, there it is. And it's a tough one, this. And doesn't want to leave that red next to the black. It's a long way away.
Yeah, those stats aren't great, are they, for either player, really? Obviously, Robertson was stronger, but he'd normally be in the mid-90s with the way he's played this week. What he was able to do was punish Bingham's errors in the first two frames. Couldn't quite do it in the third. Of course, Bingham would be highly delighted if he could come out of this somewhat shaky session level pegging.
He'd think he'd won the session. Well, that's a good safety. Getting the cue ball dead on the cushion. And Stuart knows how important it is to get that cue ball dead. Give your opponent something to think about. If he could have got the cue ball in the jaws of the yellow pocket, then that would have been okay.